In this video, I'm giving you my reaction to the Breonna Taylor officers being charged in federal court. You may be aware that just this past week, the detectives who were responsible for requesting the warrant, as well as the officer who fired into Breonna Taylor's apartment, were charged in federal court. First of all, this is great news because it's just simply been a long time coming for justice for Breonna Taylor and her family. But this is also great news because unlike in a lot of the other excessive use of force cases, in Breonna Taylor's case, there was actually this elaborate cover-up in the aftermath to hide what really happened. And these federal charges are holding the officers responsible for that. Now, some of the charges that have been filed in federal court are for the unlawful conspiracy, the excessive use of force, as well as obstruction of justice. And so the Department of Justice is alleging that these detectives submitted a false affidavit with information that was untruthful to get a search warrant to enter Breonna's apartment in the first place, and then work together to create this fake story to cover up their wrongdoing in the aftermath. All of that on top of their excessive use of force that resulted in killing Breonna. Now, in my opinion, the conduct in creating the false affidavit and lying and then covering it up to carry out a search warrant is just as egregious as the excessive use of force. And before I go in on that, let me just be very clear. I am not an anti-police defense attorney, not by any means. I worked as a deputy prosecutor side by side with good, well-meaning police officers in my community for years. And just like in most professions, there are good police officers and there are bad police officers. And I truly believe that most police officers do not enter that profession with the intention of being bad cops. However, that profession is one where there is just no room for bad actors. Law enforcement officers have a lot of power over the freedom of all citizens. And they honestly typically have an advantage in criminal investigations. So to use false information for a search warrant to enter into someone's home is in and of itself reprehensible. But then to bring in more lies to cover up your wrongdoing that resulted in the reckless murder of a girl who was legally in her own damn house, that's really reprehensible conduct, because in the aftermath, they should have simply taken responsibility. But to cover it up at a moment where the mistrust of police in this country was at an all-time high is just unacceptable. So what's my reaction? Kudos to the Department of Justice for holding these officers accountable. Now, as a criminal defense attorney, just like any other criminal proceeding, these are merely allegations. These officers still have to go through the process of discovery and maybe a trial, and they should be awarded due process and a fair shot, just like my clients and any other criminal defendant. But for now, my reaction is that I am happy to see that they have been charged. Thank you for watching this reaction video. If you enjoyed it or you learned something, give it a thumbs up. If you want more videos from Katie the Closer TV, please subscribe for future video notifications.